You don't always leave a relationship because you stop loving someone. Sometimes you leave because you finally started loving yourself. And that's the part people don't talk about enough. Knowing when it's time to leave isn't always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it's quiet and subtle. But once you feel it, you can't unfeel it. There's a moment in certain relationships where things just shift. And not overnight, not because one big fight, but because you start noticing patterns that you used to ignore. You start realizing you're the only one trying. You're explaining the same thing over and over and over. And you're feeling more drained than fulfilled. And deep down, you know something ain't right, but you stay. And because of history and because of potential, because of what it used to be. And that's where a lot of people get stuck, loving the memory of someone instead of the reality of who they are today. Leaving isn't hard because you don't know what's happening. It's hard because you do know, and you don't want to be true. You start negotiating with yourself. Maybe it'll get better. Maybe I'm overthinking. Maybe I just need to be more patient. But patience only works when both people are growing. If you're the only one adjusting, compromising, on holding things together, that's not love anymore. That's survival. And relationships aren't supposed to feel like something you have to survive. So, how do you really know it's time to walk away? It's not just about what they do. It's about how you feel consistently. You know it's time when you feel more anxious than secure. You start losing parts of yourself just to keep peace. You're afraid to speak up because it don't lead nowhere. You stand out of habit and not happiness. And the biggest one is when you can clearly see your future and they're not in it in a healthy way. And not because you don't care, but because you finally understand that love isn't enough by itself. And leaving doesn't mean you failed. It means you recognize that something wasn't right for you anymore. And that takes strength. So, because walking away from someone you still care about, that's one of the hardest things you'll ever do. But stand in something that slowly breaks you, that costs you even more. Peace is expensive, and sometimes the price is letting go. At the end of the day, you have to ask yourself one question. Am I staying because this is right for me, or because I'm afraid to start over? Because starting over can feel scary. But sometimes staying stuck in the wrong place, that'll cost you your time, your energy, and eventually yourself. And you deserve more than that.